just came back from a wild day with Aaron. It's 11:30 now. Yeah. And he showed up around 4. So we just spent 7 hours like nonstop, and I don't feel like I even covered a third of what I wanted to. Which I think just goes to show it's what you want in any relationship, just like nonstop. It's the complete opposite of two people just bored at the table going, I don't know, what do you want to talk about? Seen any good movies? Like, we cannot stop talking about, and it just becomes big and small, and then it's like, how much can we go? So right now, I'm processing how big my beard is. I don't feel like I look like beard. Some people, like, their face just looks weird with a beard. It's like it looks pasted. So I went into OpenAPI and I enabled a free trial for the pro tier, but then also got into the weeds about why my usage was blocked because I just basically blew out my quota. However, I just updated it and added some billing stuff. I don't think this is a security issue. Whatever. API, blah, 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 API keys. Yeah, you have all these guys. There's all the different things I've been playing with. And you can see just it goes over. It's like cycling, just repeating. So theoretically, I'm just going to use YouTube as my like therapy almost to get out all these ideas. It's just non-stop. I don't know where it ends. So now I'm in. I also got this sweet hat, which is my new favorite thing. Beards are cool. They're just. So we have over here on the left. We have books. What are books? Well, if you click to the left, this is in the Glide view. You have the navigation where you see the different. These are just the main menu items. Glide keeps it pretty simple, which I love. It's always easy to criticize a platform that can't do X, Y, and Z, but I invite people to remember if you want to build a coffee table, you can handcraft it and make it perfect and beautiful and elegant and a wild piece of art. If you want to create a community center, you need AI-driven 3D printers to just map out, or like a tunnel system. And I'm creating an infinite tunnel system on an underground mycology network. So I want to go into the books. What are books? I'm going to close the menu up here. Books are this section. We have two components. We have one, which is a collection. I'm going to name it right now. We'll just call it books. That's just a naming thing, but it's a collection type. What is the collection type? Well, we have the source of the alpha, the main documents, because those are the posts that humans are contributing. The beta is what I'm calling the support documents. So think of it like any action that is big enough to have its own document, but small enough that it's not like a user contributed. So a purchase would be a document generated from a product. For instance, if we just quickly go into the market, and I'm going to buy Poesis. I gotta read all Aaron's stuff. And I want to buy it. These beta docs down here are there's purchases, basically, like transactions. Oh yeah, that question one was interesting. So, if I want to buy it, it says purchased, and for now it's just now this was purchased. but we can take action on this document. We can refund it, we can delete it, whatever, but it's effectively the transaction or the receipt ticket for the point transaction on the system. Back to books. If this works, I'll be very excited. So for one, I'm seeing the duplication of this title and description. It's because over here, the items data for just mapping them to this view, which is the grid and card are basically the same. You can make it a list up here. You can make it a table, which is like a smaller list. And you can make it a checklist. I wish they had many more widgets, but they don't. So, what I want to see is how we can use OpenAI to generate text-to-speech so that we can effectively create our own piecemeal audiobooks. Aaron's big on creating a general audiobook, which I'm totally for, but I also think it's interesting to do like a piecemeal, page-by-page piece structure to break up, because you can do a few things. You can generate an image, you can extract the tags, and you can have sort of its own, it almost turns into like a comic book at that point, but also an interactive comic book that you can thematically navigate. So for one, I'm just going to maybe change this meta piece of information to whatever, it could be the author. That's me. And then the meta piece goes up top, and it's typically like a timestamp. We have the initial timestamp, which is like the full date format, and then we also have the relative, which is, now that says a little tough to see, but it's 3 days ago. Yeah, and then just as a brief and quick illustration, when you have put some stuff in a container, you then have some background options. So we could make it like a card, which just puts like a card around it. You could highlight it, which apparently does nothing. Oh, there's different themes that they opened up with. Oh, dark, that's kind of cool. Dark's nice. Anyway, I'm going to click on the book. It has the same doc structure as anything else, meaning posts, events, all the different models that you can see here. Posts, persons, groups, people, transfers, pages, products, blah, blah, blah. There's so many. There's the alpha structure, which is the difference between like a post and an event. And that's just the difference of a start and stop. It has the same title, author, timestamp, description, image, who's liked it, who's viewed it, categories, groups or guilds it's involved with. So it's interesting structuring the data more and more like how humans think of stuff. If it's like noteworthy or interesting or worthy of its own display or presentation, that's a primary document. And if it's more of a satellite, like an RSVP to an event is like a satellite document. But there can also be child documents, like if we go into the posts and I want to go into Song of Trees by David Haskell. So I'm reading it, very cool. Probably shouldn't have two of these, so let's get rid of them. Get rid of the first audio because there's two. We can listen to it, theoretically.
Initial foray, if you like, into the sonic world of other species.
Awesome. Can we also track the... No. With videos, you can track the progress, which is pretty cool. Okay, so anyway, yeah, we have this... I can't even remember. We have actions. You can bookmark it. You can like it, which is just the beginning of that. You can share it. Mark it as viewed, which doesn't quite work. And just a boop, which I just created the simplest. You click on it and it boops it. And it says how many times you've been booped. That's it. Facebook used to have pokes. Vico's seeing his boops. Boop. Oh, a crooked finger. I think that means I'm high intelligence and charm and sexual prowess. I'm pretty sure that's what it means. Don't look it up. So, child alpha docs is a alpha doc, but as a child of the main doc, and that's just an easy way to just associate any sort of structure with anything, any other structure. You're just attaching to like primary document types. So in this case, I think a transfer. The tough part about a transfer is that it's kind of a hybrid because it's both a post saying, wow, I had a great conversation with Aaron today. We walked around, we went to the park, we smoked cigars, we talked about life and finance and just everything that came to mind, and then went to go eat, and et cetera, et cetera. That's basically a blog post, but also saying the difference between a blog post and a transfer is a transfer has a designated recipient, which this should have. And we can quickly put that in where I want a choice component in this case. Choose something out of many. You can have like a switch for a Boolean switch or an email entry. There's a bunch of different widgets. I'm going to throw in a choice. I'm going to say this choice, and we have a whole bunch of fields for the alpha document structure. And this is why it becomes such like this. All of these are folders of fields. Like in the contact folder, and the folders are just self-organization. They don't mean anything to the end user. But Facebook and Instagram, okay, there's links to these things. I should be able to, well, the Twitter should be in that contact. So I have something called a target. Target. And that is what I define as a user that's a singular user that's going to it. So I'm going to say this document has a singular target. There's also a users list, which could be multi-purpose for tracking RSVPs for an event, tracking members of a group. I'm not sure quite yet. But then you evolve it into, well, should a group membership involve an application? It's not just like join and remove, just like you can have for like subreddits. Like if it's private, well, is there a member list? So do I need to apply? And then is that application then accepted? And then I become a member. So there's different ways, and it's not even a technical challenge anymore. It's just conceptualizing how it's used in real life. And for the record, I just want to share that I feel high when I'm around Aaron. His ideas, his genuineness, genuinosity, genuosity. I'm gonna coin that term. Genuosity. I don't know. I wouldn't even call it intoxicating. It's so powerfully neutral. Like he's clearly passionate about what he does, and I just don't get a single fake vibe from him. I don't know. There's just so many people where you just feel like you have to perform in the moment, especially if you go out on a date with a girl or something, and like the moment that you're not cool or confident, then they're like, I gotta go. But also, Aaron and I have just this soul bond of like, we're so maddeningly passionate about what we do that it's beyond us. We're servants to it. It's just indescribably powerful. So, what am I doing over here? Let's add a child doc. Let's add, what are we even looking at? Oh, like, this is a cool podcast. You know, I could rate it. Where's my rating? Over here. The member query count probably shouldn't exist. or the applications, because it's not a group. So let's say the group application process. This is where it just gets gnarly because there's just so much bells and whistles. We're going to say I clicked on the applications section here, and it's a list of the connections to the beta documents which are referencing this particular document. So these generally get auto generated, but because it's multi-purpose, I now have to have a conditional tree, logic tree of I'm getting flashbacks to all the conversations I've had over the past 15 years of doc structures and apps and where am I going with this? List applications. Okay, but this application is only. But there's going to be certain things like I shouldn't be able to RSVP to something that's not an event. So there's sort of the action widgets that get applied to the document structure, but that have to be conditionally intelligent, because otherwise you just overwhelm the user going, what the heck? I have too many options here. So show the component when model string is not completion. No, that must have been from a clone. Show the component when the model, which is our classification of what type of document we have, so that we can determine the sort of template of fields that we want to show. When the model string is not completion, but it is a group, because you can't be a member of anything that's not a group. So I put that back in there, and it disappears because this is not a group. How do we know? Well, it says so, but also we have in the edit form, we can pop this out to have more of a user experience. Enough thing I freaking love about Glide is that it's in real time, it shows all the data, and it's immediately updated. Something like Flutterflow, which has a ton of advantages, doesn't remotely allow that. I have to spin up a testing environment, and that takes 5 minutes, and then it's very slow, and then I can finally see whether or not the data is looking the right way, which is just exhausting. So we have a whole bunch of fields here. We have a body, which is HTML, and we allow it to format, right? We can format, and it pops up a little, it doesn't work great in dark mode because that's a new feature, but whatever. Highlight it, sounds good. Get rid of that. Your author, that's an admin only. If we want to upload a file, we want to add a phone number, because sometimes it's a person, sometimes it's a company. There's a lot of different pieces that we just add to it and then have to simplify the UX. Drag images, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the thing I wanted to actually freaking get to, which is what I always end up spinning around, I want to go to the books. What are books? Books are anything, we're going to the books, view, what are the books? Books collection, collection source, alpha, books, okay. But not all the alpha documents, we just want the alpha documents, and we're going to filter where the model string is book. So we just created a new thing called a model, which is just a document in a secondary data table. So we have the alpha documents, and it's all of the main content. Oh, there's only 140. We have the beta documents, which have their own models and have their own like auto images, the note of it. Okay, it was a purchase. What was the purchase of? Is it a review? What is it referring to? And this is a new interface. A little bit of updates happening here. Okay. Yeah. And this is the doc ID, and the doc ID references then. The doc ID is just a string, and then we have another column which is of type relation. What is it relating to? Well, anything in the doc ID matches the value in the alpha table, and the alpha table, which row? Well, it's the row ID, the unique identifier. So that's just a very basic column relation structure, but the fact that it's embedded into Glide and it's basically its own database relation builder is wildly powerful, and I have not even hit the limits of what I can do, and I'm just constantly weaving in references what author and group and etc. is related, and then I just throw in a status thing, and so we have the option to create buttons that specifically change the status. Like if I'm the author of a task, or rather I'm the admin to a group and there is a beta document of an application sent by someone else and that default status is null or pending, then if I can change that to an approved, then we can create a list of approved memberships, which then reference a list of users of the authors of the application documents that are beta documents to the parent group, and the list of authors of those applications that have been approved are the members. I've been talking so freaking much, my cigarette's out. So we're just going to take that as a sign. So, I want to go into here. I want this thing to read to me. We can copy the link, basic, whatever. I uploaded a PDF. You click on it, it'll pop that up into a PDF thing, and we can go through it. And this just flippin' gorgeous UX, which is kind of the ultimate challenge. I just love seeing it and going, how is this doable? How quickly can we bring it to life? So I'm going to read this book. Reading the book. This book has child alpha documents, which are themselves pages. If I click read, it just finds the first child document of model page. And I think like a ranking, because it is a page, yeah, the ranking field shows up. So this is page 1, something like that. Author, Aaron. And because everything has the same structure, there's a coin field which has different usages. If it's a product, obviously that's going to be the cost of the product to purchase it. If it's a page, does that mean that you have to purchase access to the page, which I think it should. It'd be cool to like sell access to each page. Like what if you could sell access to each page of your book for a penny, and then you just get a ton of user feedback as to basically who's buying which pages. Is the book exciting you? Buy the next 10 pages. Is it boring you? Move on with life. All right, the audio link is now blank, and theoretically, when I click on this speak trigger, which I'll go back up to here, so this speak button right here, close out navigation, I'm going to find the speak button. Here it is, speak button. What does it do? It's a button. You go over here. What's the format of it? Well, if it's basic, then this just becomes, it's just some slight UX or UI button formatting. Okay, speak. Speak to text. So the action it's going to take is this button. Also the width, you can just change it to like be wide or whatever. So take the action. What action is it? So here's configure the action. The button is just whatever I'm calling that. It doesn't have an icon, so I can say something like find an icon and something audio wise. Well, whatever. Play button's fine. I'm going to click on that. That changes to that. What is the action it's going to take? There are particular actions that I've described of like logic, if it's call an API or call OpenAI. There's also just basic navigation pieces built in. Sign in, go to a tab, go back, open a link. There's data transformers, manipulators that we can empty a set, shuffle an order, add to a number, add a row, or delete a thing. If you want to create a delete button, that's a delete trigger. And then there's JSON objects and query JSON, which is I haven't gotten into, but that's going to be powerful. Alright, interaction, show notification, play a sound. Oh, that'd be cool. Create our own play button. wait for certain conditions. Sometimes you want to call an API and then just wait a few seconds or wait until it's set. Communication, send an email, send a text message, share a link, call an API. That's going to be in the future when we really connect to other APIs, like an astrology API. Okay, you have on your profile that you are a Scorpio. Well, query an API and then pull it in information of what your astrological read is. AI, which is thick and powerful, obviously. Audio to text, if you want to transcribe, extract text from a PDF document, generate text, which is what I use mostly, and then other things which I haven't even used, like basic stuff like text to date. Theoretically, I should be able to just add a post saying, hey, I'm throwing a party next Thursday, and then say, all right, take the action of extract whatever date you can from this description and then put it in the field, which then can put it on the calendar. What's next Tuesday? Next Tuesday at 7, I'm throwing a party. Okay, well, it's then. Text to choice would be cool too, because we were talking earlier about the emotional kind of breakdown when I was using Watson or Alchemy. It started off as Alchemy, and then it was Watson, Natural Language Understanding. I had a few different names, but God, I remember those early days of Alchemy, and then IBM bought Alchemy, and then it was IBM Alchemy and IBM Watson. Anyway, it's a while to just think of all the changing of the guard with different platforms and stuff. I've been doing this for so many fucking years. So, anyway, the text of choice could be something cool because we want to actually create more of a curated classification of like emotions. So, for every post, you can extract the keywords, which happens automatically. So, welcome to the Why I Unearth community. We're and this is the parent because we have a beta document that, or rather a child alpha document that has a parent ID, so naturally we should have the parent link, and the parent link should probably be a bit higher. Actions. The collection for the parent, I don't know, I'm going to put it up there because that's sort of the parent, even the breadcrumbs. This is like moving upwards, going up. So this automatically extracts the AI, the keywords. So with this, welcome to the Why on Earth community, that's the title, connecting global leadership with grassroots community action for good. That's the body, that should probably be a little bit bigger, but it extracts the keywords automatically by basically going into the alpha, and we have a whole bunch of fields, but in the AI folder we have keywords. I can just call this keywords 1 because it used to be 2 keywords, but I hope that didn't blow up my fucking usage. That's the problem with adding an AI command to a column, because it just generates it for the entire freaking thing. Alright, what are we doing? Instructions. List keywords in lowercase separated by commas. That's it. That's all we want. Input. Take the title and the body, combine them. I created a template for both. In the model, we can have high power if we're going to have like really large data sets, but that also blows out the usages. Alright, the keywords, it extracts it in a string, which is, it seems like a list, and by human standards it is, but computer-wise it's just a bunch of texts and there are commas in it. What do we do? Well, the keyword array basically just is a split text action / column that says take all the stuff from that column and then split it up by a comma. Why? Well, then these become more like nodes, individual nodes that we can then reference. What do we do with that list? Because we have individual nodes. Oh, and this is the that's just the response to the of a separate trigger to research or look up OpenAI based off of the title. And so if you're asking a question, it'll respond to the question, and if it's just like an article, it'll create a summary, which is really cool, and creates a small paragraph of the whole thing. All right, so the keyword refs, that is a relation type field, and it says take all of the things in this keyword array that we have over here, all these items, these entities, Charles Eisenstein, Aaron Perry, look at that. I mean, even, it's just so elemental, and it seems like I feel like I'm saying really intelligent things and also very basic things, and it's a bizarre frame of mind, because just in the sense of taking the keywords out, I know, and the system knows, that Charles Eisenstein and Aaron Perry are two entities. I happen to know that they're humans. Whatever. I also now know that regeneration and economics are connected with them. Why? Because it was just the general description of the YouTube clip that when he was doing the talk at the stand, which I remember I did not go in because I didn't want to be around people I knew. But I was outside smoking a cigarette, and I think I was kind of drunk at the time and in a crabby mood, if you can imagine that. I know that these are related. Now all I have to do is aggregate them, and I will know with enough time more than Aaron and Charles Eisenstein know about themselves. I know all the different connection pieces that they have. So I'm going to find all the references in this list, match multiple, so split them all up, find all the items where the value in this list of items matches the value in the name of the tags I have. So I go over to the tags column, and these are similar, but they're a specific side piece of like concepts that are not user generated but extracted. I'm going to find their image auto, which just means find the stock photo for the text, find the large image, small, we could find the photographer, whatever, based off of the name. So we have auto image generation for all the different tags, which is important. We also have the author ID, and then naturally the reference, same concept. So the person who mined the tag by just clicking the button saying create a new tag, because we don't have a tag for this yet, is really interesting, because as the users will use the site in the app, there will be endless extracted tags from the documents that if the user has the interest to say, I want to create this tag, you've effectively, it feels like you have a toddler, a child, and you say, quantum entanglement, and they go, what? And you go, oh, you've never heard of quantum entanglement? And they go, huh? I know, what is that? And you go, well, it's sort of a sciencey thing, and there's quantum elements, and they can affect each other through space and time. And you go, You're teaching the kid that, but then if the kid goes, quantum entanglement, okay, let me do a quick search. I can find everything related in what I know. Oh, I know science, and I know math, and I know these other concepts. I'm going to just say, quantum entanglement is related to these other documents. That's how the brain works. It's just, that's connected to that, and that's connected, okay. And based off of your experience and just the description of what the thing is, it becomes highly intelligent really quickly. Which I have no idea why no one else is building stuff like this. I guess Facebook and Google are doing it behind the scenes, but I'm saying throw it out in the front. Let's have the users explore this, and then help with the what's the word? Cultivation. Help with the organization of the information. Curation. All right. Posts. Find all the posts, refs, where the row ID, count it. We're just finding all the refs. In this case, the posts. Find where the name of this tag is referenced in the alpha AI keyword array, which is where we just were. So it's sort of a backwards relation. So we're finding a document that says find all the relations to all the tags we have extracted from the body, and then we actually go back into the tag itself and then go find all the posts because I want to be able to view the page for the tag. Like if I can scroll down somewhere here, community. Community is a tag that we found from Welcome to the Y on Earth community. AI says, oh, this is important. Community. I go to the community page, and now, boom, everything that has extracted the word community, which is actually going to be a lot with Y on Earth, is now connected. But there's something elemental where community is pretty broad, but at the same time I go, oh, growing spaces. Well, that's interesting. What's going on with that? Oh, it's a company that provides geodesic dome greenhouse kits. Oh, freaking cool. Interesting. Oh, also I'm bored. I don't like reading. I want to see an image. That's an AI generated image from the content. They're not wrong. Okay, this is the manually added document body. Oh, look at these other tags. Ecosystem. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm kind of getting into soil works. What's going on? What do they do? Okay. Biodynamic, regenerative, permaculture. Ooh, permaculture. That's something new. Simple gardening wisdom video course. Boom. Now we're moving into products. And so there's this exploration into the tags and the concepts that I was just so thrilled that Aaron picked. I don't know. It's not like I'm smarter than everyone and they need to appreciate what I do, but there's just something elemental to this basic extract the keywords and create a navigation with the keywords, fill out the data for the keywords. You're basically, it's like you're reading to your toddler and they go, what's that word, mom or dad? And you go, oh, that word means this, 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 and this. And they go, oh, okay. You're not giving them the Webster's Dictionary definition. You're just saying, oh, well, this, whatever. This word is like other words. And they go, oh, I get it. So I want to go back a few times. I don't know. I'm all over the place. Let's go back to the books. I want to go to the book. I want this to read. So I'm going to read the book. It's interesting. Pages red, 20% red. Why is that? I should have them all red. Whatever. Community. This speak action, what does it do? It's connected to an action. So we've gone through all the different even integrations. You want to send an email through Google. You want to send an event to Google Analytics. You want to do a new, add an event actually, like there's the click event and then there's like the party next Thursday event. So there's all these integrations that you can combine. You can create your own actions. I'm going to connect this to wherever the action is, text-to-speech action. I'm going to edit this action. It's going to pop up an action editor. And then what is this interaction? Well, we're going to interact with the alpha, the primary document structure. What's the action we're going to take? Use the integration, and then I go into AI, OpenAI, and it says text to speech. Yeah, the speech to text is interesting if you're like recording something in real time. Oh yeah, you can just record it right in real time, which can even then be its own query. It's like, show me all the people that are vegans in my friends list, something like that. So my action is text-to-speech. Each run uses 5 updates. Okay, so that's a lot. Take the input from the title and the body, whatever the model is, voice, whatever, voice, speed. That's cool. Double the speed. That's interesting. Response format. Oh, that's interesting. Opus MP3. Keep talking so freaking much. All right, so we have some, and save it. We have to save it to a link field type. In this case, it's the audio. All right, so I'm going to try it out. I'm going to generate that. Oh. Blow up my current quota, so it still doesn't work. All right, well, it should have generated an audio. I blew up my quota. I don't know how to fix that because I thought I paid for it. But that would then generate an audio file that read it to you, which would be immensely useful. to create that now. This probably doesn't work either. Blew up my quota, but it should be generating an image based off of the title and the body, and then the image should pop up, which isn't, so I'm guessing my quota isn't working. Oh, there you go. Hey you. Holy, I mean, tell me that's not freaking cool. Obviously, it's AI image stuff, but to be able to create like a picture book in real time. How cool is that? Look at your little houses and your solar panels. That's all it says. Connecting global leadership with grassroots community action for good. That's wild. God, I thought I was hoping that audio would work. I can also ask AI, which again is just generating response from the title and response in the body, and then it'll pop up here. Oh my God! And then well, yeah, this is like, as a member of community, well, yeah. So it kind of does a response. The speaking thing didn't really. Oh, it just worked. It didn't work before, but it worked now. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. This is the beginning.
Welcome to the Y on Earth community, connecting global leadership with grassroots community action for good.
Oh, man. Oh, man. That is so bonkers cool. Let's go to the next page. Top developmental priorities. Ugh.
Top developmental priorities. We need your help. We're deep in the rough, uncut, sausage-making process of updating and up-leveling our positioning and communication to the world. It's messy. Position, mission, brand upgrade. Advancement in capital resource development. Audience reach. Ambassador Guild leadership.
We are off to the races, and it's gonna blow out. I mean, we have to charge basically for each one of these clicks somehow. Well, you just charge for points, but yeah, to create, it should probably be like a reading view, where it's very minimalist and doesn't overwhelm the user. But wow, what are the biggest problems? You know what? And I want to update this just quickly because I can. So we have, what are all the text to speech? Edit that. Options, speed. Let's say 1.2. All right. So that's just going to be a little bit faster now.
What are the world's biggest problems? To start, let's ask an important question. What are the world's biggest problems? And some related questions. Who is working to solve them? How are they being solved? What more is needed to achieve their solutions?
Oh, so that was just the title. What? Wait, what? You didn't read this. What did you even say? Oh, no, that's what that is. Okay. Yeah. That was just the AI answer, which is cool. It's like, what are the biggest problems? And AI is like, well, here's a bunch of problems. All right.